How would you feel if you woke up this morning and received word that you got laid off? Hello, my name is Jay, and this is my pretty wife, Sylvie.
And we are Beyond Financial Reset. Today, we're going to talk to you about the fact that I got laid off.
Yep. She got laid off, and then I had to continue my 9 to 5.
Yes, it's been a rough 2 months, but we've been trying to stay positive, and we're at a place where we can talk about it with you. So we're going to let you in on what happened the day we received the news and how we've been coping.
Yep, we've come a long way. 2 months. Today we can talk about it. Okay, let's do this.
So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button below so you'll receive notifications when we release our new videos.
Yep, and I'll let you, because I was not the one who was laid off, I'll let her share how it happened, because it's kind of important that we share this with you, because we understand during this time, it may not just be us. You probably know someone out there that has been affected by COVID-19. People have lost. We want to acknowledge that it may not be as serious as losing a loved one, but this is also something that can affect families. So I'm gonna have her share this, how it went down.
So basically, got up in the morning and got a text that I had a meeting at work that I needed to show up for, and I went to work.
It was an off day. Imagine, so when you get a text message on your off day that there's an important meeting, if you still have a job, listen.
And so with everything going on, we had been talking about it in our home. Because one of the things we talk about it, in your finances is you have to look at your career and see what is happening in your job market. So we have been looking at the fact that most providers' offices were moving towards the telemedicine. And so we thought it was going to be a possibility. Now, we didn't know when it was going to come. So when we got that message, I told Jay to come.
Red flag.
To come with me to the meeting and just wait outside. So lo and behold, go to the meeting and got the letter that I didn't have a job anymore. And basically you got 15 minutes to pack up your office.
And let me hold you there for a second. Some people have instincts. On the drive to the meeting, okay? I was the positive one. She was already like, I think I lost my job. I'm like, they will call you on your day off to fire you, literally speaking. No. Yeah. I'm a positive thinker. Bad things don't happen to good people, right? So, hey, but just to say that, some people have instincts. Sometimes just listen to your instincts, okay? Because I don't listen to them sometimes.
Yeah. So, like he said, I had the instincts that it was going to happen, and I just wanted my support system to be there with me to be able to process the news. Now, you might know it's coming, but when you do receive the news, it's something totally different. And to be told you have 15 minutes to pack up your office, that is something that's
brutal.
Have to pretty much process. So now, once we left out of there, it took me a whole day to process the news. And I was so thankful that he was there. And I want to add that when you receive that kind of news that you don't have a job anymore, it's very important to utilize your support system.
Yep.
Whatever your support system it is. It might be your family. It might be your friends. It's very important. Now, it doesn't help that with COVID-19, we're already so locked up at home and away from our support system and from our friends. So that was an added disadvantage, or that is an added disadvantage. So we definitely have to make use of our support system. So
Yep.
Came home and took a nap. And
while she was doing that, because again, ANCAP, this is what it means to lose a job, right? It means that money that was coming in, it's not going to be coming in anymore.
That's right.
Okay? And luckily enough, we are in America, right? Which means you lose a job, especially during this time of the pandemic where most people are eligible for unemployment. So while she was trying to build up and kind of get herself together, guess who was busy on the computer? As I walked in, I put her stuff where it was supposed to be.
He put my box.
Hey, don't tell anybody. It was actually like a box, okay? A box. I don't know what it was. Maybe a book box,
So
something like that.
He put my right here. That's the box.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
I walked out
Yeah.
with.
So keep in mind, it's always it takes us longer to move in than to move out, right? You always have a very short period of time, but it's very important to always use the folks that you have, call them, share these experiences. Some of us may be shy and withholding a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, especially when this kind of news is unexpected. But again, who expects to be laid off, right? Unless there's maybe been a warning, but this happens.
And with everything else going on, it's very important to protect our mental health as well. So whatever people you have in your support system, please make sure that you're reaching out to them, especially during this time. And what's still, if you get word that you're being laid off, you need somebody to lean on. You want to call on your support system, people who are going to hold you up while you try to figure out what your next best step is.
Yep. And the other thing that we did, which was almost immediate, was to try to protect our income. We left from a household with 2 incomes and we're basically down to 1 income. So the next best thing was to file for unemployment.
And we did that
Same day
we got home. It took me a couple of hours. So I took a nap to process the information, and then we got on the computer and filed for unemployment. Now, like Jay's saying, it's very important that you protect your income as soon as possible. And there's been a lot of people filing for unemployment, so the sooner you can get to it, the better for you.
That we also had to immediately review our budget, right? It is very, very important, or it was very important for us at that time, keeping in mind that our income was cut by half.
So because your budget takes into account your income and your expenses, now we've had a change, and income is lost. So we had to sit down and review our budget to figure out where we needed to make cuts. And so one of the things that definitely had to go, which Jay was very happy about, was his allowance.
My allowance cut in half too.
But with the change in, again, our income, we had to review our lifestyle, and that meant getting rid of things like the allowances, the utilities, making sure that you're more aware of closing the doors, turning off the lights so you're not running up the bills, and just reviewing like a phone bill. How can we make it cheaper? And also, there are benefits out there at this time for people who have been laid off.
Utility companies, I think when we're going through our emails, we saw from our electricity company that we're offering support, internet. They were offering support to people that have never even had internet. So there are a lot of support there. So we took advantage of some of these benefits, especially just for us. It was more of, is there anything that we can cut down? It's an area that suffered too, where some of the things I love to eat. I don't know if you know me personally. Those of you that know me, I love goat meat and my stew. And goat meat is not cheap. So I haven't had goat meat for like 2 months. Can you imagine? So you can see the way I talk. It's like there's something missing, right? Goat meat.
Yes. So we had to go back to our basic budget.
And that's beef.
When you have to go back to your basic budget, certain luxuries have to go away.
Yep.
Right? So having the goat meat as often as he was having is a luxury. Again, it's reviewing your grocery list and seeing what you can cut off, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you start being in debt or using credit cards. And that's what we were trying to do, was cut off some of his luxuries so that later on, when we build back our income, he can start eating more good meat.
Well, and be forthcoming with information. I think one of the things that we tried not to do was kind of keep this to ourselves. And I'll take this opportunity to say thank you to some of our friends. We have friends that reached out for, she mentioned earlier the support system. Yeah, we talked to them, we calls here and there. I mean, like, hey, what can I do? And it just makes you to feel good, out of a bad situation, you have your folks reaching out. So, you know me, I wasn't the one that lost the job, but hey, when I would take those calls, I would be the relay guy. I'm like, hey, who you want to talk to? Hey, But yeah, but that's something that we made a bad situation and kind of made the best out of a bad situation.
Definitely.
Yep.
So get on the phone and call those companies. If you have a mortgage to pay, see if you can get an extension on the mortgage or your car note. Just calling those companies and taking advantage of those benefits.
Yeah, and then you also want to consider looking at your benefits. Okay, it's very, very. It could be hard sometimes to think of all these things when things are going south. So it is very important to kind of have maybe a small list of things that you want to look into when this situation hits you. What we did was we had a review. So we looked at a check on our life insurance. We looked at our medical benefits because we were having, she had benefits from her job. So imagine that we were relying on the medical benefits, prescription benefits from her job. And this job is not there any longer. So that means those benefits, we have to figure out whether or not to move everybody onto my plan, which is exactly what we did. We had to make sure that whatever benefits we were getting from her job, now we transferred to my job.
We had to review our financial goals. So at this time, we were working on paying off our house,
Our mortgage.
and so we had to put that on hold. And we're going to update you on what we've done as far as our financial goals in the subsequent video. And would advise you, if you have debt at this time as well, to figure out in your financial plan, or in your budget, if you have money to continue paying that debt, or if you want to put that debt on hold and pay the minimum, or to hold off on that debt. But just make sure that when you're holding off, you're not accruing interest as well. You want to clarify that with your creditors. The next thing you want to do is to tap into your emergency fund, which is something that we've been very thankful for, because
we're not receiving unemployment. We filed for unemployment. There's no unemployment. We don't know what's going on. Millions of people have filed for unemployment.
That's right.
That's a given. And it's so difficult to reach a live person.
The other reason why we do stress on you getting out of debt and saving money is because you might find yourself in a situation like this, like we found ourselves. And unfortunately, although we did apply for unemployment, we never got unemployment. So it's been 2 months now, and we've not received any unemployment, no benefits. So that's where your emergency fund comes in, and you have to utilize that to be able to keep yourself financially afloat. So we do stress that you, again, get out of debt, because the more debt you have, the more money you're going to need to be able to keep up with your bills.
That's why on this debt-free journey that we are sharing with you, we've opened up our house, we've opened up our experiences, so we'll continue to share with you some of the things that we do while we are on this journey.
So if you haven't watched our other videos, please make sure to subscribe and watch them so that you'll receive notifications when we release our videos.
And do not forget to also leave us a comment if there's any particular topic that you would want us to cover. Could be on our journey or some other experiences as far as it relates to finance. Please leave us a comment.
And if you have been laid off, I would appreciate if you could leave us a comment as well. So
how you coping?
How we can know how you're coping. No, if you're receiving unemployment or you've succeeded to get through to the unemployment people
on the phone,
please let us know
share that secret with us.
How to get to them on the phone, because it's been a hassle trying to get them on the phone. So if you have succeeded to get somebody on the phone, please definitely let us know as well. But thank you for watching and stay safe.